The inflation numbers came in this morning, and oh boy, are they bad. Inflation in the United States year over year is now at 7.5%. This is absolutely bonkers type data. This is the highest inflation number that we have seen in over 40 years. Let's go right to the charts. What you can see here is that the CPI inflation is at 7.5%. The core inflation, which takes out a number of different items, is still at 6%. This is bad news, folks. Then if we go and we look over the years at what the hell has been going on with inflation, you can see that the consumer price index for all urban consumers, all items in the U.S. cities, it is exploding upwards. We haven't seen inflation this high since 1982. Then if we go and look around the world, is this a U.S. problem or is it bad elsewhere? The United States is one of the worst countries in the world. What do I mean? The U.S. at 7.5%. Only Poland, Russia, Brazil, Turkey, Argentina, and Venezuela are worse. Literally, the U.S. getting grouped in with places with super high hundreds of percent of hyperinflation. The United States has a problem and no one seems to have a solution. If we then go and we look at exactly how this is breaking down, used cars are up 40%. Gasoline up 40%. Furniture up 20%. Things like peanut butter up 15%. If we then even go and we look at new cars, those are up 12% as well. What's not on this list is things like food at home or outside of the home, up 6 and 7%. All sorts of goods up very, very high. It's because you cannot print trillions of dollars and inject it into an economy and not have negative side effects. If we were to measure inflation based on the real metrics, not these manipulated metrics, not constantly changing the methodology, which the government does, the real inflation number is over 10%. Official inflation is at 7.5%, but the real inflation is much, much higher. What do I mean? Here's a prime example. Our friend Charlie Bolillo breaking down something like rent. Shelter specifically is the single largest component included in CPI. It makes up 33% of the computational index, but it's being wildly understated. It's only currently being set at 4.4%. But rent is up 18% over the last year, and home prices are up 19%. The actual inflation in the United States is much higher than 7.5%. They're messing with the numbers, and the official number that they're telling you is not true. Go to the store. Go try to buy items. Go try to actually spend money in the economy. There has not been a 7.5% increase. It's well into the double digits. And the more they tell you it's 7.5%, and the more that you realize that when you go to the store, you're seeing something else, the less trust that people have in this data and the less trust that you have in these institutions. Inflation is the highest it's been in 40 years. Something's got to change. And if they don't change it, the poor are going to get poorer, the rich are going to get richer, and that wealth inequality gap is only going to widen.